Hello, everybody. This is Practice-Oriented Czech Training. I'm Oriola Braoli from Fraunhofer Italia, part of the Czech Consortium. And in this video, I will be presenting the building permit process and how we mapped the as-is building permit process in 4 municipalities in the Czech project.
So, what is a process map? Can you answer this question? What is your idea of a process map? Or maybe, what is your idea of a process and then of a process map? Exactly, yes. So there's no single right unanimous definition. Any other ideas? No. So if you simply ask GPT, we'll give this long definition. But as you said, simply a process map is a sequence of events with a start and an end that demonstrate the evolvement of events or the continuity of a process. And more or less in a schematic way it looks like that illustration in the slide. So yeah, it's simply a visual representation of workflows and steps of actions and events. Then the as-is process map that was one of the keywords of our work package, but also of this project, is the process map or the actual process, how it is developed currently right now. So how the municipalities are operating right now into their with their building permit process. The 2B process map is how our vision is for this process to be. So this is what we did, and we tested, and then we implemented also in a tool. So the next question is how to successfully transition to a digital building permit process. So digital building permit process, we all understand, right? It's a building permit process that is digital. First of all, to make this successful transition from our current process, whatever it is, analog, semi-analog, automatic, semi-automatic, paper-based, PDF, whatever, we have to know this process, and we have to know the process really well to be able to understand and then identify gaps and move forward. The first step is to know where we are. Second step is to map where we are. So it seems easy, but we thought that this was one of the most time-consuming steps in our work for developing the Czech DPP process. So map where you are. What does it mean? You go through a lot of we went through a lot of interviews and discussions with the municipalities. And we mapped every step of their work. The first day we were in Gaia, and you more or less saw how they operate. So this is also what we did in the first place. We met with them, we talked with them, we asked, we took notes of every step. Then we had first drafts of the process maps. We discussed again. There were disagreements even in between them. So is a long, let's say, voluminous work, but it's very important to actually clearly map where you are, to clearly map your as-is process. So yeah, we one of the outcomes of this step is the as-is process map. And another important aspect of this is the maturity of this process. What does it mean, the maturity? When I say maturity, I'm always referring to the maturity of the digitalization. So how digital is their process? How mature is their infrastructure, technological infrastructure to support this digitalization? How mature is their competencies to manage this process, to know and manage this process? And also how mature is their organizational and legislative framework to support this process. So we arrived here, we mapped, we know where they are in the as-is process, and also we know how mature is this process. Next step is to know where you want to be. So with that, we mean to clearly know and understand what do you want to change in your process and what are the objectives you want to reach, always in terms of digitalization and automation and supporting infrastructure for this process. For us, this was already defined because we already know the Czech project objectives and goals. So this was our benchmark. This is where we want to be. But the next step is to map where you want to be, because from the project, so from Czech, we had a written document with text, with objectives just represented in a textual way, but not in a process. We didn't have a process map. We didn't have it translated in a process language. So we had to map again where we wanted to be, and this was a vision map, not the existing map. So we built again the to-be process map in alignment with all the as-is that we had mapped. And again, we also defined where this process, the to-be process, wants to be in terms of maturity as well. So how mature where we're planning to be always based on the Czech objectives and benchmarks. And finally, after you know where you are and where you want to be, and you have the map where you are, and you have the other map where you want to be, the plan is to draw a path from where you are to where you want to be. The path is not a simple line; is a roadmap. So the roadmap contains all the actions that let a municipal body or whoever move from where they are to where they want to be. This we're going to see later also in more detail. So yeah, we build also a roadmap, action by action. And for that, for building the as-is process, so of course, we built the whole methodology that went through very defined steps. And also for assessing the maturity of this process, we had to build a maturity model because it didn't quite exist in the beginning. So there is a wide variety of maturity models for assessing digital maturity, but there was not one for specifically for assessing the building permit process. So yeah, we had to build first the methodology for process mapping, and then build the process maps, and then methodology for maturity assessment and the maturity model. And just to show the experience was more or less like that. We are now at the end of the third year for this project. So it took some time and some effort, but finally we made it to have a clear process map, a clear process, an assessment tool, so a maturity model, and also a final tool that integrates the two of them. So yeah, we build the methodology based on the check core objectives to develop this novel digital building permit process. So we went the methodology in very generic steps, goes from process mapping to as-is maps to harmonize as-is, then defining the new process, then conceptualizing and building the check to be process maps, and then the check actions. So the three main outcomes that I'm also going to show step by step also in this presentation are the check digital building permit process map. It is a very big process map, but it's also uploaded in the platform, so you can take a look at it also. The other important outcome, so second outcome of this work package was the check maturity model and roadmap. And the third one was the check change management virtual assistant. This is another tool that we created, also supported by an LLM. Is a tool that allows municipal bodies or municipal officers to map their process, assess their maturity, and build the roadmap independently. This was our solution to scalability. So what you see here are three process maps. These are actually the condensed process map from three of our municipalities, from Villanova de Gaia, Prague, and Lisbon. This is how the condensed process map look like. In total, we mapped the as-is process maps from Lisbon, Villanova de Gaia, Prague, Ascoli Piceno, Skopje, and South Tyrol. The four first municipalities are partners of this project. You must have, I think, also uploaded in the platform these process maps. So you can open and see more in detail. So this one version here is the tool. The standard as-is process map is a very big file, but it shows step by step the process of the building permit from the information collection up until the approval of the building permit for all the 4 municipalities. So what we noticed by mapping and these processes and building these process maps were at least 3 gaps or pain points that we saw that were in all the processes that we mapped. First of all, we noticed a lack of transparency. Second, was the impact on urban development. And thirdly, we noticed, it was clear that there were inefficiencies in the traditional or in the as-is process of these municipalities. By lack of transparency, what do I mean is that probably you know from your experience also, I don't know, from here, I think most are designers, engineers. I don't know, have you ever had the experience with, have you ever applied or prepared documentation for building permit? Yeah, how was it? Difficult. Did you know what you had to do since the beginning? Exactly. So, yeah, it's a generic, more or less everywhere is like that. From a designer point of view, is difficult to understand all the steps, all the list of documentation you have to submit. So you have to go in a lot of iteration of communication with the municipalities or the stakeholders to finally understand that what everything that you have to do, everything that you have to submit, and this becomes a long and dreadful process, and it takes in the end a lot of time. And also on the other side, for municipalities, is not easy as well, because they get overloaded in work, and then there are delays and so on. Sometimes you need 2 years to get approved a building permit. So it means everything else is on pause. You cannot start to build. And this also has an impact on the urban development, because then also the development of urban plans is also wrapped around that. And it needs more agile and up-to-date processes to align also with the current goals as a sustainability and so yeah, building a sustainable urban development and environment. And also, yeah, inefficiencies, of course, if the process is not transparent, things are not clear, communication is also not clearly defined. There are a lot of inefficiencies during this process. So this we tried to tackle and maybe solve in the new process of Czech digital building permit process, tackling by digitalizing and automatizing the entire process. So it becomes a transparent process and more fluid and accessible also to the designer part. So we built all the all the as-is process map from all the municipalities. the thing is that they are similar processes, but they are not the same. So every country has their own legislation, their own regulation, and this does not differ only from country to country, but we saw that there are big differences also from city to city, like there were differences from Vila Nova de Gaia to Lisbon. And also there are differences from municipality to municipality, even if they are operating in the same city. So what do we do to pass from the as-is to the to-be? Because the to-be, the check to-be was going to be a process that was inclusive of all municipal processes. And we had in check municipalities from three different countries. So Italy, Lisbon, and Czech Republic. So this new process had to include all the steps and all the actions in the as-is process of our municipality. So first we built a harmonized process. What we did is what we see here. You see here is in every line of this table. You see the steps of the as-is process map from every municipality. And in the last line, you see all the in a grouped way all the steps from all these processes that are on the other line. So here is the complete process, including all the steps from all the other processes. So at this point, by this harmonized map, we knew that the new process had to include all these steps. So it had to include the pre-consultation phase, the submission phase, the assignment phase, the planning and review, the formal review, the content review, third party consultations, approval and issuance, and then the post building permit, which is the on-site inspection, the update of the as-built, and the use permit.
So this is all from my side. Thank you all for your attention and your time.